Hello everyone, guten tag, bonjour, dobry den. This is me, Zeno, talking with you today. I'll be directly honest with you. I really did not pick a theme for this stream. I just opened my watch later to tab and decided what I'm going to do today because I first wanted to talk about one issue. Then I talked a lot about it on my Instagram. You can check it if you follow me over there. And I couldn't find any valid content that we could react to. And if I want to film a reactional video, I'll simply film one. That is actually what I'm doing right now. I have recorded a video about New Year's resolutions, like I told you yesterday. And I, right after I finish editing it, I will obviously upload it. But then afterwards, I already have an idea for the next video. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. 2026 is going to be spoiled with a lot of content. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, what was I saying basically is that I suggest that we simply watch a YouTube video. There's going to be a short stream because I only have one YouTube video to watch, but it's been sitting in my watch later list for a couple weeks now. And the funniest part, it was uploaded a couple weeks ago. So that means the moment I saw it, I decided I'm going to watch it one day, and now I'm watching it. So today, the program of us three are going to be Call Girls and the ultimate male fantasy. The thumbnail looks pretty attractive. There are three gals from, I believe they're all from TV shows that I've never watched. I only know this one in the middle, the ginger one. I believe she played Ted Mosby's college ex girlfriend in How I Met Your Mother. And maybe she appeared on some shows as well, but this is basically her most famous one. All the two others, I have no clue who they are. But anyway, it's going to be a very quick stream. I have an idea what I might do soon with streaming, but it really needs time. I really need to take my time in order to actively decide what I'm going to do with that today. So before we know that, before we know that, what I suggest, give me a second. Actually, I'll reply to this tomorrow. Never mind. I just got a notification, uh but yeah, I think they can wait. They can wait. I'm spending time with my followers. I'm glad to see you all here. And what I suggest is that without further ado, we're going to go to the video. One thing only.
This video is
Wait,
sponsored by Squarespace.
wait. No. We're going to do the typical, my old fashioned intro. You remember the one where I just introduced the creator and all of this? Those were some good times. Let me first do a stream though, or do an announcement though. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Worst case scenario, I got people watching me tomorrow. So it's all good. This year, I'm actually planning to make another Super Bowl stream, and I am going to keep my word to it, hopefully, because I remember why I didn't have one last year. It was a very sad reason. Yeah, if you don't know, I got injured on the day of the Super Bowl, so that's why I could not have done the stream, even if I really wanted to. So, I need to post it on Instagram. By the way, if you're new to this channel, follow me on YouTube, follow me on all my socials. Basically, I will talk. I really appreciate everyone who joins. I appreciate everyone who comments, especially because people commenting is sometimes even more valuable than people liking the video. I could feel that there's real connection between the two. So, without further ado, without further ado, I suggest we start. It's gonna be a short stream. I'm only gonna watch one video and then I'll go edit the video that I promised to upload you. So, Cool Girl, the ultimate male fantasy, a video by a dude named Tron. I watched a couple of his videos about TV shows and how they portray a variety of relationships. Now, I like the dude. I ain't gonna lie, some of the takes he makes are interesting. The way he builds his content is interesting. So I think that this is exactly why we're going to watch this short video. I believe there's no need to really stop extra on this. So let's just dive in.
which is all the time. She has no other girls. She never wears makeup except for when she does, which is all the time. She has no interest in fashion or jewelry and much prefers the company of men over women because it's less drama. These women are supposed to be the perfect fantasy for men because they share all the interests men have, are low maintenance and unchallenging, yet still able to exist in an effortlessly beautiful thin body. The perfect woman. The cool girl represents the ultimate male fantasy, an idealized woman created by men. Someone who is undemanding, has no
He's putting Robin Sherbatz. I mean, yeah, she was kind of what was she doing? Wait. I believe her father wanted a son, so he raised her kind of that way. I believe that's how this show portrayed her.
goals or aspirations of their own and simply exist to pedestalize and offer unwavering support for the man.
For all of those who are gonna judge me, I've never watched Transformers, so please, before you comment anything, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll watch them one day, but definitely not today.
Cool girl is able to embody masculine traits that people find appealing, all while remaining effortlessly beautiful and feminine. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the cool girl trope, deconstructing the fantasy, examining the demonization of femininity, and finally examining what happens when the fantasy breaks. This video is sponsored by
You've already mentioned this in the first 5 seconds. If only I got so much advertisement. Let's go.
The cool girl is the ultimate male fantasy, a physical manifestation of all his desires, embodied in the most perfect, unflinchingly amenable woman. Men love the cool girl mostly because she's able to occupy a space of being essentially a male friend he can have sex with.
That is the best.
That is probably a bit sexist if you think about it. Think about it for a sec. Basically, all that you're saying that a cool girl is a dude whose only difference and only worth is in the fact that you can have sex with them. Now, everyone who knows my views know my views. So I'm not going to... I agree with the take. But I have plenty of... I can spin it so well that it can sound so sexist. Because it does sound sexist if you put it in that way. Although it shouldn't be. Like, it really shouldn't be. But somehow is. I have spent too much time on the internet recently. Pwah.
He's like super hot, but then like loves Xbox, down for pizza.
That tomboy thing, you know? Like, man, I knew this girl, Joey.
That's a hot name right there.
That is a hot.
Yeah, she was off the charts hot. She could, like, beat me in arm wrestling, you know?
She shares all his interests, is sporty, and has a general disinterest in anything feminine, while also being effortlessly beautiful.
Okay, this is where we kind of change. Do we really want someone who is disinterested in anything feminine? Like, really? Do we want a dude? We don't want a dude. We don't just want a dude with whom you want to have sex, right? So basically, because I'm now arguing with the take that basically the idea of this cool girl of a male fantasy is basically sexist. Oh my god, I'm spreading feminism over here, guys. I'm all of a sudden getting fired. Let's go. This might actually be not such a boring stream after all.
Cool girl is also meant to stand out more among other girls because of her seeming refusal to conform to a traditional form of femininity. However, the fantasy of the cool girl flattens the woman down into simply a conquest to be won. Oftentimes, men are unable to look past their attraction and see a holistic person.
It looks like your distributor cap's a little loose.
Yeah? How'd you know that?
My dad, he was a real grease monkey. He taught me all about this. I could take it all apart, clean it, put it back together.
That's weird. I just wouldn't peg you for mechanical.
Well, you know, I don't really
They simply want to use the cool girl to live out their fantasy. In one episode of The Big Bang Theory, Leonard meets and starts seeing a girl he met at the comic book store.
I love that show. Summer 2019. I spent the whole summer watching it. I watched all 12 seasons in the span of 3 months. It's probably the biggest run I've made in terms. Oh no, not 2019, 2021. The biggest run I've ever made with a show.
Getting this next month?
Yeah, it's issue number 21, first
For a while, it was my favorite show. Then I kind of shifted my views a bit, and it just didn't fit.
appearance of Hellboy.
I know. I've been looking for it for years.
Sorry.
Hey, if I pretended to hit on you, could I distract you enough to sneak it away?
Yes, but you'd be using your superpowers for evil.
She's interested in comics just like him, is very attractive, sexually uninhibited, and of course, inexplicably infatuated with him. As all
So she's basically a man with whom he gets to have sex. Okay, let's watch it. Let's watch it further, just to get the idea better.
cool girls are depicted as being. Because no matter how hot or cool they are, they're always interested in our socially awkward protagonist.
Damn it, I can't do this.
Is it my tongue stud? Because if that freaks you out, you're in for a real surprise later on.
No. Oh,
Yeah, the girlfriend.
Despite having a long-distance girlfriend,
Right.
Leonard still decides to pursue a sexual relationship with her without telling her about his girlfriend.
Hot take. I actually have a hot take on this right now. And I'm going to upload this as a full reaction. Screw it. I'm enjoying where this is going. But my hot take is only weak men fantasize about this type of a cool girl. At least in the way that he described her, right? A man who basically someone who you get to hang out like a buddy friend, but who is also hot and you can have sex with. And we're going to probably watch it on during the video. We're going to have enough examples of it. But I truly believe that this could be the argument. It is a very, very valid argument. Please tell me I have been posting sound. Yeah, it's all good.
In the end, he decides to be honest, expecting her to be very understanding because he doesn't see her as a person or would ever expect that it would be an issue for her. She's simply someone for him to use, to assuage his own male ego and sexual desire.
I have a girlfriend.
You kidding?
You're cool with you and me just being friends, right?
I don't believe this.
Wait, I don't. Which part?
So stupid. I thought for once I'd met a good guy, but you're just another jackass.
In that 70s show, Donna is basically one of
And it is actually true. Because you cheated on your girlfriend. You just wanted her for sex. Like, dude, come on. You had Sheldon to talk about comics.
the guys.
Can't give him your present in front of his guy friends.
I am one of his guy friends.
She plays basketball, loves beer, is incredibly beautiful, and is attracted to Eric. In Gone Girl, Amy describes the performance she played in order to win over her husband's affection. She became the ideal girl, the cool girl, someone who cared about everything he cared about, was able to drink just as much beer and eat as much cool pizza as
that's Johnny English girlfriend from the second movie. I don't remember the actress's name. I only remember she was attracted to Johnny English. That is a true legend of cinema. Not all of these guys who are watching today.
him and still remain unbelievably beautiful and thin.
She's a cool girl. Cool girl is hot. Cool girl is game. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl never gets angry at her man. She only smiles in a chagrin-loving manner.
But again,
and then
is it really
presents her
cool?
mouth for fucking.
Men crave
I
emotion.
mean, they kind of okay. Let's even use the word cool. Is it truly a male fantasy? because I'm trying to pick up on this sense. I really am. I do not. Okay, I want him to talk a bit more so that I give my hot take on it. I already gave my hot take, but I want to expand on it a bit more.
And physical intimacy, and oftentimes feel uncomfortable asking for that kind of intimacy from each other. Perhaps in a way, the cool girl represents a way for men to have their emotional needs met by someone who could interchangeably be a friend to them, but also fulfill their sexual desires.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Head into the can and make some room.
Exactly. Like, listen again on this take.
For men to have their emotional needs met by someone who could interchangeably be a friend to them, but also fulfill their sexual desires.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who could be a friend and fulfill sexual desires. That is a guy, because, well, I don't know, we can argue all day about the relationship, friendship between man and woman, but basically what he is describing is that a cool girl is just someone you could. Okay, I'm not going to repeat myself again. I'm just gonna clip this out afterwards. No, I'm skipping this part. I'm not saying it again, guys. I'm not.
Yes.
Head into the can and make some room.
Wait, should we just each other?
In a way, the cool girl is a perfect combination of a best male friend and a really hot girl. This kind of thinking does flatten the woman into a fantasy or archetype. There's no genuine interest in who the cool girl is as a person, simply an attraction to how perfectly the cool girl can fit into his life.
And that is exactly the problem. That is exactly the problem. The ultimate, what we just described, because I was actually why I thought the stream wasn't going to be that interesting, because I thought it was obvious, like, we want a girl just describing basically all the needs, but no, this is a very interesting point of view. Basically, a cool male fantasy of viewing a cool girl is not viewing a person, it's not viewing someone with their own personality, their own interests and challenge. No. This is someone who, like he just said, who could be a friend, but is very attractive and you can sleep with. Is it really an ultimate male fantasy? I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe I'm just the wrong type of man. I'm not gay, but I'm just probably a different hetero man. Who knows? If you really, I truly want to hear your take on cool girls, on what you view as the cool girl, or what you view as an ultimate male fantasy. If you're watching this and you're a male, because really, I could probably make a video on this. Let me write that down. I'll probably make another video on this, just not a reactional one, but a talking one, where we're going to dive much deeper in it.
Cool girl may also just be someone who more neatly fits into the life of the man. She is someone who he is supposed to be with. In Legally Blonde, one of Warner's main reasons for breaking up with Elle is because he doesn't believe that she's serious enough to be a permanent part of his life.
I thought you were proposing.
Proposing? Elle? If I'm gonna be a senator,
to be honest.
well, I need to marry a Jackie, not a Marilyn.
So you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde?
No, that's not entirely true.
Elle isn't someone Warner is supposed to marry. Her affinity for femininity makes her less compatible and not someone who can be taken seriously. Conversely, Vivian fits into Warner's fantasy much neater than Elle ever did. She's a cool girl in the sense that she shares Warner's ambition, is unchallenging, willing to support Warner in any way she can, even if it means making herself dimmer in comparison. Elle initially believed she wanted to be the kind of girl Warner...
I actually have a better idea, a better take on this. You know how people say we often fantasize about what we want, but it's not always what we need. I think this is exactly that type of example. Probably, I could see men fantasizing about these types of girls. But I think, like what I just said about why I don't think my idea would be like this, is because I kind of started to think about it, and I understood that even if it would be something I want, it's not something that I really need. I don't think that a man, if he's getting into a serious relationship, we're talking about how do I don't know the correct word in English, but we're talking about an actual, yeah, let's just keep it then simple, a serious relationship between two committed people who are basically playing an important part of each other's lives, then this is not really the type of girl that a man would want. And I'll say not he would want her, but not necessarily need her. And I'm going to tell about this a bit later.
Could marry someone who can be taken seriously and who puts silly femininity aside.
Yale Law. This is the type of girl that Warner wants to marry. This is what I need to become to be serious.
What? Practically deformed?
For Warner, the most important thing is how they complement his life and make it easier. Not about who they are, whether he even likes them or not, just what kind of value he can extract from them. What role can they play in his life? The minute they
that is exactly now okay, now it does make sense, because fantasy, we only fantasize about good stuff, right? And the cool girls, like we just said, they're cool stuff. They're a friend who is giving us who is also giving us, let's say directly, sex. But if we're talking about what really needs, and I have spoken with a lot of married people also, so I am talking from experience, guys. Your spouse or your second, even for a woman and a man, you need to find someone who is still challenging for you, because think about it, if you get complimented 100% of the time, those compliments lose their value, right? If it's just doing what you want, what you imagine, it really loses. Then what's the point of the compliment then anyway? You're not going to say it. The only reason why we value good stuff is because we know that there could be bad stuff. Because if we knew that it's going to be good forever, or that everything's going to be good, we wouldn't really care. It's the same why people value life. They value their time, or at least those who do, because they understand that they're going to die one day. And they're probably never going to be able to do some things that they wanted. I'm getting too far ahead, but I think I'm understanding this concept of a fantasy. Fantasy goes to something that we want, and we don't really think about things that we need, because sometimes we need the harsh truth. And harsh truth is not always the best thing we want to hear, not always the sweetest thing we hear.
Become challenging or not overly supportive, they can be discarded. However, over time, Elle learns that she's fine just the way she is, and she doesn't need to diminish herself or contort herself into someone just so she can be more compatible for a man who, quite frankly, is inferior to her in every way. Eventually, Elle also motivates Vivian to come to the same realization. She also learns that her animosity towards Elle for her unabashed embracing of femininity didn't make her any happier or any more perfect for Warner, because therein lies the issue with being the cool girl. You're never going to be cool enough to shield you from mistreatment. Vivian being the perfect partner for Warner on paper wasn't enough to keep him around, and the minute he saw an opportunity to hitch his ride on someone who could elevate his status, he jumped at the chance.
Because there's always going someone who's gonna lick their ass better. If you compete purely on who's going to flatter someone better, then trust me, there's always going to be someone who will give more. Always. That is why people ask others to stay true to their own personalities. Because even if you don't fit for this type of man, or if you don't for this type of woman, there is going to be someone out there who's going to accept you for who you are. Right? And it will be, and for you, whoever's watching this, it will be much easier to fulfill that role, because you don't need to change anything. You don't need to adapt. You don't need to lie, because really, butt licking is lying. If you're constantly complimenting even the places you kind of shouldn't, you're lying. So stay true to yourself.
I love you.
Oh, Warner. I've waited so long to hear you say that. But if I'm going to be a partner in a law firm by the time I'm 30, I need a boyfriend who's not such a complete bonehead.
The cool girl's unwavering support and loyalty are seldomly rewarded. The cool girl may believe that she will be the exemption to the cruel man's mistreatment, but that is hardly ever the case.
Harsh truth, girls. Mutual disdain from femininity. We're going to talk about, but harsh truth, girls, like I just said, there's always going to be someone out there who's going to lick his butt more.
One similarity between the cool girl and men is a mutual rejection and disdain for femininity. In order to put the cool girl on a pedestal, femininity has to be flattened into a very vapid kind of expression that's not worth taking seriously or worth considering.
Oh, wow. Like, totally freaked me out. I mean, right on. The Taurus, sure, number one.
I transferred from Los Angeles. Your school has no gymnastics team. This is a last resort.
I've seen this clip so many times online, but I have no clue. I even forgot this gal's name, though I surely knew it in the past.
I've never cheered before, so what? How about something that actually requires neurons?
Because at the core of it, what's really being celebrated is an attractive woman's ability to embody masculine traits without being too masculine. The cool girl's ability to reject femininity,
because then she won't be attractive enough to have sex with.
And embrace traits the men would find appealing is how she's able to stay in the fold, because being too girly makes you vapid, shallow, and weak. In Legally Blonde, part of Vivian's animosity towards Elle is that she embodies a kind of hyper-stylized pink femininity that she just simply does not take seriously.
Do you think it's acceptable that Ms. Woods is not prepared?
No. I don't.
Would you support my decision to ask her to leave class?
Oh, okay. Now I'm thinking, whose voice is it? This is Alan and Charlie's mom.
I don't.
Would you support my decision to
You
ask
could
her
already
to
hear
leave?
it. Charlie, Alan. You could hear it. Okay, now I remember this actress. At least someone I know.
Leave class and to return only when she is prepared?
Absolutely.
Butt liquor. Not, although she's not even a man. Why are you doing this? I'll never watch the movie, or probably not in the near time, so whatever. I'll take my guess that they were opponents.
Very bombastic and in your face. Like everyone else in law school, they see Elle as someone who stands out like a sore thumb.
Hi, I'm Elle Woods, and this is Bruiser Woods. And we're both Gemini vegetarians. I have a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising from CULA, and I was a Zeta Lambda Nu sweetheart, president of my sorority Delta Nu, and last year I was homecoming queen.
Her embracing of her femininity makes her inappropriate. In contrast, Vivian is exactly appropriate for a setting like this, so much so that she's the ideal person for Warner to be engaged to. She's not masculine, she definitely still embodies
Because here's where the truth lies. A cool girl is great to have around, right? Especially from what he is talking. But is that really a perfect wife material? Because you don't want to... Here's the whole thing. You don't want to marry a friend. You want to marry a wife. There's a reason these two have two different definitions that we use. That's why you have friends and you have a girlfriend. So whenever someone is trying to stick in another girlfriend, you know, not that doesn't go with one word, but that goes with, I don't know, an uppercase between them, it sometimes struggles. But that's a whole other discussion, right? Today we're not talking about those types of friendships. We're talking about cool girls and male fantasies.
femininity, but it's more subdued and understated. In that kind of setting, it helps her to be taken more seriously by her peers and her superiors. So when Elle continues to excel in law school without having to diminish herself or tone down her femininity, it breeds resentment in Vivian, especially when she believes Elle is leveraging her sexuality to get ahead. In Gone Girl, Amy is an extremely accomplished person who comes from a wealthy family and even graduated from Harvard. But in order to keep her relationship and marriage afloat, there is a compromising of herself that she has to do. Cool girls are supposed to be uncomplicated and agreeable. By demanding more from her partner, whether that be in emotional intimacy or by taking on more of the financial strain in the relationship, she's breaking the unspoken rule that every cool girl must abide by. To be a cool girl is to put yourself and your needs aside and be an unwavering pillar of support for the man.
Question: why is he telling that a cool girl was perfect for Warner if he just listed the whole problem of a relationship as such? Relationship is between two people. You can't just put one up and the needs of other aside. They need to somehow balance. Now, they might necessarily not be perfect. Sometimes someone is going to sacrifice for the other. Sometimes one of them is going to suffer. That is true. But like I say, life is unfair. Life is fair by being unfair to everyone. Same in a relationship. Sometimes it's going to be this, sometimes it's going to be that. And all this chaos is going to give a perfect balance. This is probably the most feminist stream I've had all the time, the whole time I've been on YouTube. Damn, I'm changing this year, really.
Someone who can give him companionship and sex whenever he wants without demanding any more of him.
More games?
Yeah, just want to shoot some folks.
What's the laptop for?
Laptopping. Oh, I see. You can give your parents $879,000 without talking to me, but God forbid I buy a video game without getting your permission.
You are spending a lot.
You don't trust me. You don't trust my judgment. You certainly don't trust my intention.
What are you talking about?
Cool girls don't complain, and they definitely don't demand more from their partners. Amy's rejection of her true self wasn't enough to keep her marriage happy and thriving. It wasn't even enough to keep her partner from cheating on her. Vivian's disdain for Elle's brand of femininity didn't make her more appealing to Warner. It didn't make her more successful and didn't protect her from mistreatment. The fallacy that they fell into was believing that by rejecting femininity, they would be shielded from mistreatment. But again, being a cool girl is a male fantasy. The minute women cannot maintain or live up to that fantasy, they will be discarded and mistreated.
Yeah, okay, now I get my confusion because I thought, like, when I fantasize about some stuff, there's always problems in there. There's always problems in there because I try to fantasize as real as possible, and I know that we don't live in an utopian planet. And every single time when I come watch these type of YouTube videos, I kind of forget in what world do we live in. And we live in a world where people still believe that you can only get everything nice, sugar and spice, and just stay with the goods. There's another take that I can make on this, because that's where these cool girls get into the problem. If they only stay, if the guy's only used to the goods, then eventually he's gonna get bored from them, right? It's back to the same topic that we talked about in the beginning when I said that if you have, if you're only having good things, you won't enjoy them, because without the bad things, you won't enjoy the good things. And this is the same thing here, basically. If a cool girl only gives everything great, everything as the guy wants, everything as the guy dreams of, he is eventually going to get bored. Because, well, you can't, in order to be interested, there's got to be a spark, there's got to be something new. But, again, this is a difference between a fantasy and something that men need.
The others. Finally, I want to talk about when the fantasy falls apart. The cool girl can be cool, just not cooler than the guy. Because she exists specifically as a male fantasy, the minute she challenges him in any way, that facade drops and she's no longer the cool girl he needed her to be. The cool girl can be cool so long as she's never cooler than him. The male ego must always remain intact, unthreatened.
That is male 101. We're egotistical people, and we want to be the most we have to have the biggest ego. We need to be the coolest in the room. That I will not argue.
Of the breakdown in Amy's marriage was because Nick lost his job and she had to take on more of the financial responsibility, while he slowly began to resent the agency she had over her own life.
It's easy to throw.
Nick, I don't get it. I don't get why you're daring me to be someone I don't want to be. The nagging shrew, the controlling bitch. I'm not that person. I'm your wife.
I'm sorry. I just don't know how to do this. I've never not had a job. I flipped burgers. I painted houses. I don't...
You'll get another job.
She wasn't cool anymore because he stopped being cool. He became so dissatisfied with his life and his relationship that he began an affair with one of his teenage students, a new, younger cool girl who was uncomplicated, never spoke back, and was agreeable to all his desires. The fantasy broke, and Amy wasn't.
So you're saying, I haven't watched all the shows that he just used, but Leonard, when he got a cool, was basically cheating on his long distance girlfriend with that cool girl. Ben Affleck is now cheating on Johnny English's girlfriend because because he was married to a cool girl. What did I say at the very beginning? Guys who end up with cool girls eventually end up cheating. And it's not even because the intentions of the cool girls aren't that bad. They're just wrong. Because fantasies are wrong. Life is brutal. You can't live a fantasy your whole life. That's the beauty of it. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. And that's why we enjoy those moments where it actually is. That's why we enjoy those exact things when someone or something does something that actually is perfect. That's what makes it valuable. The fact that it's not there consistently, the fact it's not there all the time. And I am surprised because I kind of forgot about this until now. You know, I live my life in my own bubble, and I forget that people still think about it like this. That is something. I will. I'm such a feminist in this video, I guess.
Good enough anymore. In that 70s show, Eric and Donna have a mutual infatuation with each other. They've been friends since they were children, and part of the reason Eric likes Donna so much is because she's cool. She's similar to one of his guy friends. She plays sports with them, drinks beer, wrestles, and is very attractive. She represents the ultimate fantasy for Eric, someone incredibly hot who is as easy to get along with as any of his male friends and shares a lot of his interests. But the fragility of the male ego can get in the way and ruin things. In one episode, after somewhat confessing their mutual feelings for each other, Donna and Eric play a game of one-on-one basketball like they normally do, and this time when Donna beats him, Eric takes it really hard.
That's gay! Man, what a slaughter! I just swiped the court with you from one end to the other!
I gotta go. He feels emasculated that the girl he likes is more athletic than him and better at sports. It creates a rift in the relationship, and everyone around her tells her it was a mistake to beat Eric.
Oh, what's the big deal?
Eric will never be your boyfriend if you keep beating him at stuff. Okay.
I've been playing games our whole lives, and sometimes he wins and sometimes I win.
No, I mean the rules change. Women have to pretend to be weak and fragile so that men can feel superior.
That's insane.
Now that they're dating,
that's true. I think my grandma, she's such a G. Shout out for my grandma. Whenever I was young, she was always telling me that it's a girl's role to make the guy believe like he the one who got her. Which is, not gonna lie, if a girl accomplishes it, the guy's gonna stick to her. Guys are very egotistical, especially when it comes to things like these. And I have explanation why. You know, that's the reason why we conquered planets. That's the reason why we conquered continents. You know, conquered other empires and all of that stuff. They are egotistical. They want to satisfy their ego by showing how cool and strong they are. So, of course, if a girl wants the guy to stick with her, she sort of needs to play that role. Is it sad? I don't really know. If both parties end up happy and satisfied, what's the problem? What is the big deal eventually? If everyone wins, I don't see a problem in that at all.
She's expected to assuage his ego, to never outshine him, and to always pedestalize him. It was okay for her to be cool when they were just friends, but now she's inching dangerously into being cooler than him, which can never happen. In the episode, Donna refuses to diminish herself in order to make Eric more comfortable about being attracted to her.
Well, that's game.
Also, look at Eric. I mean, no offense. Okay, this is a bad shot because he's wearing a woman's clothes. But I think he definitely cheated in this show at least a couple times, right? I haven't watched this show, but even from how he looks, he's a weak man. I don't want to insult people and personalities, or this is TV. This is a TV show. This is a TV character at the end of the day, and I don't want to insult him. But if I were to choose a word that best describes him between weak and strong, I would rather stick with weak than strong.
That's great.
Are you okay with that?
She demands that he overcome his own shortcut.
Look, even here how he looks. I have, like, he looks, I don't know. Maybe the actor, I'm not judging the actor right now. I'm talking purely about the character. The character looks afraid. He just looks weak. I'm not going to pick up additional words. One word, 4 letters, that's enough.
A holistic person, not just a fantasy. Men will oftentimes say that they want a woman who deprioritizes intimacy and relationship.
Okay, you don't like me like that. Just, you don't have to be so mean about it.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
God, you're such a girl. Come on, it's my treat.
Those women are cool and are seen as more attractive. Yet, when they encounter women who genuinely are not relationship-starved romance hounds, somehow they're still too broken.
I can never go out with her. She's too fucked up. She doesn't want a boyfriend. She's too damaged. Magnum PI couldn't solve the shit going on in her head.
The cool girl simply exists as a male fantasy, another impossible ideal for women to live up to in order to assuage male ego and keep their attraction. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on Cool Girl. Let me know what your thoughts are down below.
Let's actually read the comments section. I think this could be a nice new trend that we could establish. She never makes makeup except for when she does, which is all the time. I actually like this quote a lot in the beginning. Is nothing. Moral of the story is nothing will ever be good enough. Just be yourself. Yeah, I wanted to make the exact same point. I'm going to make the moral of the video right now. Then we can read some additional comments. But basically, the moral of the video is this: if you base your life on satisfying someone else, you will at the end of the day lose yourself. And at the end of the day, he or she will find someone who will be able to satisfy them more than you. So try first of all to satisfy yourself, satisfy who you are, build up your own ego, build up who you actually are, and with that, approach the other gender start relationships with that approach. And then once you meet someone who wants to add up to you, you'll live happily ever after. And I think most of the comment section will agree on this. Amy, I don't. As a girl who embraces masculine traits, I can promise. But I think it's the exact same way with women, by the way. Like, you know, when they say to guys, be emotional, be up with your like, you know, when they try to, yeah, basically feminizing man, or men with feminized traits, they might fantasize also about it. But at the end of the day, if you want to sustain in a long-term relationship, you want someone who is strong, confident, independent, and direct. No, actually, that's not what I wanted to say. I thought it was well done. They want someone who is a masculine man, like women want a feminine woman. Sorry, like men want feminine women. Let's actually look at this. Look down on. Yeah, I actually agree. I never look down at women's emotions. I'll be honest with you. I never look down. Because I understand it, guys. I grew up around women. I have 2 sisters. Like, I've been dealing with this all my life. Trust me when I tell you this. So there's nothing wrong to it, and I actually agree. It's often the reaction. But even if we sometimes look weirdly on it, because sometimes you can get confused, you know, looking down. It's not always looking down, but you sometimes just might not understand from your male perspective. Like, you could just not comprehend why, I don't know, for example, she's crying about something, or why she's so angry about something, or worried about a situation that should be kind of chill. It's not necessarily looking down, it's just confusion sometimes. But this is what often does make a woman attractive, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think that this is going to be the end of this stream. It was much better than I expected. Much better than I expected, because I thought it's going to be. I was a bit unprepared because the topic that I wanted to talk about, kind of, I didn't find anything to really back it up. But this was fun as well. So I wish you everything the best. I'm gonna go edit that video to you guys. Hopefully it's gonna be by the end of the week. Hopefully it's gonna be tomorrow, but I don't think I'll really manage by tomorrow. So hopefully on Saturday. Hopefully by the end of the week. So that being said, this was Zeno with you today. Enjoy your life, guys, and be yourself. Woo!